This is the Mountain Meditation by Jon Kabat-Zinn. It'll be slightly adapted as I read it, but this is from Jon Kabat-Zinn's book, Wherever You Go, There You Are. I highly recommend this book. So just sit quietly with your feet flat on the floor and your hands in a comfortable position, and close your eyes when you're ready. And it can be helpful just to notice your breath without trying to change it. Just kind of find it where it is and allow your attention just to notice it. And if you do find it helpful to take a few deep breaths, then do so, but it's not necessary. The important thing is that when your mind wanders, just to come back to these words and to your breath. So mountains are sacred places, and people have always sought spiritual guidance and renewal in and among them. The mountain is the symbol of the prime axis of the world, Mount Meru, the dwelling place of the gods, Mount Olympus, the place that spiritual leaders encounters God and receives his commandments and covenant at Mount Sinai. Mountains are held sacred, embodying dread and harmony, harshness and majesty. Rising above all else on our planet, they beckon and overwhelm with their sheer presence. Their nature is elemental rock, and rock hard, rock solid. Mountains are the place of visions where one can touch the panoramic scale of the natural world and its intersection with life's fragile but tenacious rootings. Mountains have played key roles in our history and prehistory. To traditional peoples, mountains were and still are mother, father, guardian, protector, and ally. And in our practice, it can be helpful sometimes to borrow these wonderful archetypal qualities of the mountain and use them to bolster our intentionality and resolve to hold the moment with an elemental purity and simplicity. The mountain image held in the mind's eye and in the body can freshen our memory of why we are sitting in the first place and what it truly means each time we take our seat to dwell in the realm of non-doing. Mountains are quintessentially emblematic of the abiding presence and stillness. So picture the most beautiful mountain you know of or can imagine, and one whose form speaks personally to you. And it's okay if an image doesn't come up right away or if it changes. A part of this process and practice is just to be okay with what comes about and to be okay with who you are sitting here now. But as you focus on the image or the feeling of the mountain in your mind's eye, notice its overall shape, the lofty peak, the base rooted in the rock of the earth's crust, the steep or gently sloping sides. Notice as well how massive it is and how unmoving, how beautiful whether seen from afar or up close, a beauty emanating from its unique signature of shape and form, and at the same time embodying universal qualities of mountainous, transcending particular shape and form. Perhaps your mountain has snow at the top and trees on the lower slopes. Perhaps it has one prominent peak, perhaps a series of high peaks or a high plateau. However it appears, just sit and breathe with the image of this mountain, observing it, noting its qualities. And when you feel ready, see if you can bring the mountain into your own body so that your body sitting here and the mountain of the mind's eye become one. Your head becomes the lofty peak, your shoulders and arms the sides of the mountain, your buttocks and legs the solid base rooted to your cushion on the floor or to your chair. Experience in your body the sense of uplift, the elevated quality of the mountain deep in your own spine. Invite yourself to become a breathing mountain, unwavering in your stillness and completely what you are, beyond words and thought, a centered, rooted, unmoving presence. Note, as well you know, throughout the day, as the sun travels the sky, the mountain just sits. Light and shadow and colors are changing virtually moment to moment in the mountain's stillness. Even the untrained eye can see the changes by the hour. And as the light changes, as night follows day and day night, the mountain just sits, simply being itself. If it remains still as the seasons flow into one another, and as the weather changes moment by moment and day by day, calmness abiding all change. In the summer, there is no snow on the mountain except perhaps for the very top or in crags shielded from direct sunlight. In the fall, the mountain may display a coat of brilliant fire colors, and in winter, a blanket of snow and ice. In any season, it may at times find itself enshrouded in clouds or fog or pelted by freezing rain. The tourists who come to visit may be disappointed if they can't see the mountain clearly, but it's all the same to the mountain. Seen or unseen, in sun or clouds, broiling or frigid, it just sits, being itself. At times visited by violent storms, buffeted by snow and rain and winds of unthinkable magnitude, through it all, the mountain just sits. Spring comes, the birds sing in the trees once again. Leaves return to the trees which lost them. Flowers bloom in the high meadows and on the slopes. Streams overflow with waters of melting snow. Through it all, the mountain continues to sit, unmoved by the weather, by what happens on the surface, and by the world of appearances. And as we sit holding this image in our mind, we can embody the same unwavering stillness and rootedness in the face of everything that changes in our lives over seconds, hours, and years. In our lives and in our meditation practice, we experience constantly the changing nature of mind and body of the outer world. We experience periods of light and dark, vivid color and drab dullness. We experience storms of varying intensity and violence in the outer world and in our own lives and minds. Buffeted by high winds, by cold and rain, we endure periods of darkness and pain, as well as savoring moments of joy and uplift. Even our appearance changes constantly, just like the mountains, experiencing a weather and a weathering of its own. By becoming the mountain in our meditation practice, we can link up with its strength and stability and adopt them for our own. We can use its energies to support our effort to encounter each moment with mindfulness, equanimity, and clarity. It may help us to see that our thoughts and feelings, our preoccupations, our emotional storms and crises, even the things that happen to us, are much like the weather on the mountain. We tend to take it personally, but its strongest characteristic is impersonal. The weather of our own lives is not to be ignored or denied. It is to be encountered, honored, felt, known for what it is, and held in high awareness. In holding it in this way, we can come to know a deeper silence and stillness and wisdom than we may have thought possible, right within the storms. Mountains have this to teach us and more if we can come to listen. But when all is said and done, the mountain meditation is only a device, a finger pointing us towards somewhere. We still have to look and then go. While the mountain image can help us become more stable human beings are far more interesting and complex than mountains. We are breathing, moving, dancing mountains. We can be simultaneously hard like rock, firm, unmoving, and at the same time soft, gentle, and flowing. We have a vast range of potential at our disposal. We can see and feel. We can know and understand. We can learn. We can grow. We can heal. Especially if we learn to listen to the inner harmony of things.